Hey Dom, this is Dave Decide. Today we have some very interesting tea going on. We have V on the radio and what people are upset about and scared of with that. We have people believed that V was lying over the rumors, and we have some cute NSFW pics that V is talking about. So hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Rabbit Dumpling Tea Spilling Mug merch, and let's get into it. There are two mysteries of BTS. There's actually 9 million, but the two that we are talking about today are Suga's 7 tattoo and V's tattoo. Suga dared us to find it on him, so we won't know that location until later. But if you've been following the unfolding of the members getting their friendship tattoo, then you might think, oh, we know where V's tattoo is. He put it right where his 2 moles were and made the 7 look like a nose. However, I believe we may have recently seen his arms in photos and stuff, and it's not there. There was speculation of the 7 tattoo between the moles were drawn on, and it appeared like it had been. Vogue issued their magazine, and we got to see V in some incredibly short shorts, and people assumed that the tattoo was actually on his thigh. And if you zoom in a lot on the short pictures, you see something that resembles a 7 on his thigh. So unless he got his tattoo twice, then it could be placed on his thigh, and not what we initially thought, which was his arm. Of course, as V's husband, I knew that. I was just teasing y'all by saying it was on his arm. Obviously, I knew where it was. I'm joking, obviously. But I actually think it might not even be there. A little while ago on Weverse, V made a joke saying that he will be getting a tattoo on his left butt cheek. Of course, people thought he was joking. But then on the 25th of September, V was on Weverse again answering questions, and an army decided to ask just where the tattoo was. And V said that it was on his left butt cheek. Now, we have no idea if he was joking here, or maybe in the Vogue shoot, the 7 tattoo was just drawn on his thigh. Sometimes magazines and media will do like a little Easter egg like that to draw up more press for the article and get people talking so they buy the Vogue magazine. So maybe that was added to do that, and V's real location was his butt cheek. Some people were definitely freaking out, as if V was indeed joking, then there would be some indication of that, right? Like maybe a laughing emoji or something. Armies were asking V to give us proof and to post that. I do think it's funny because if the tattoo was indeed there, then we will never see it. There is little to no shot that we will get a shot of V's butt. It'll never happen. We can barely get shirtless pics, let alone a butt pic. But what we may get is just V drawing on and moving the 7 tattoo all around his body. But yeah, this is definitely funny and would definitely be NSFW content if you were to approve the location. He has been talking to ARMY a lot on Weverse, and some people are doing some sneaky things that are a bit concerning. People are going through extraordinary lengths to figure out if this dating rumor is real or not, as if you're obligated to know if it's real or not. The obsession and dedication some of these people are going through to get an answer is a bit concerning. If you have this much time on your hands, then you can contribute to society in a more productive way. Listen, let me explain what is going on. Your head will spin. It started with a question that V got, and an army asked how golfing was going. V responded saying that nowadays he does not play as much, and sneakily the reason why this was asked was because people believed that V went to New York to play golf with Jennie. I really don't think V knew that this answer was going to be used as a way to prove the V and Jennie rumors. I think he just thought it was a normal question, and if he knew, I think he would have not answered it. But then people brought up a moment where he was either going to New York or coming back, where fans recorded V at the airport. Blackpink was also in New York this time, if you remember, and people noticed V at the airport with a golfing bag. It was being unloaded off of his car, so it was rumored that V was going to New York recreationally and just having fun. Now, there's many reasons why he would have a golf bag other than spending time with Jennie. One, if it's a bag, we don't actually know what's in it. Yes, it's a golf bag, but have you ever used a bag that was designed for something but you're using it for something else? You could have clothes in there. So those calling V a liar because he is seen with a golf bag but claims he hasn't golfed in a while can definitely be wrong. And his response of him not golfing also could be a way to dispel those rumors, to be like, stop with the me and Jennie golfing rumors. It didn't happen. But people wanted to prove this more, which you need to stop right there, because people were then messaging a paparazzi who had allegedly been following Blackpink all around New York. They messaged him asking if there was ever an incident in which they spotted Jennie and V. And for sure, if this paparazzi was following Blackpink around, they would not miss an opportunity to snap a Jennie and V date. V was so low-key in New York that there weren't even fan photos of him walking around. No one saw him. But I think the lengths in which people are trying to either prove the relationship is real or to prove it's fake, it's going too far. At this point, if you care that that much, I genuinely hope that you take that energy and place it somewhere else. There is still true crime cases that are not solved yet, and people are missing. There's kidnappings that happen. There's so much going on. What exactly happens if you find out that V is not dating or V is dating? Like, what then? Like, what is your plan after you know? To constantly bombard these paparazzi or people associated with V to get an answer is not necessary and does nothing. To even then go as far as to say that V is lying or hiding this is too much. Because even if he is lying, he's allowed to lie. He doesn't owe anyone an explanation on what he is doing ever. The fact that he is saying anything is a privilege to us, not a right. Don't expect that people give you everything. He is not in a relationship with 50 million people that he is obligated to do that for you. And let me ask you, if you were in a position where you wanted to silently date someone, would you not lie if a friend asked you? You'd probably lie because you don't want anyone to know yet, as maybe it's still the early stages or you're not ready to commit. But suddenly V would be crucified for this. Again, I'm saying if. I don't believe he is dating Jenny. If I was V, I'd be absolutely done with this. This is so frustrating, but he can't come out and say anything because whatever he says, people will be mad. And from the looks of it, even if he actually comes out and denies the rumors, half the fandom isn't even going to believe it. Hype has denied several dating rumors and the fandom still thinks the members are dating those people. Now, I was very excited to wake up this morning to the news that V was starting his new job as a radio host, just for the day as a special guest. This is on NBC Radio Network, so you likely can't listen to it unless you have Korean radio. But it was very cute to see him doing something so different, and it appeared like he really had an amazing time. Radio seems to be the perfect thing for him to do, and I think if the station notices the huge audience that V brought into the station, they could even ask him to do more. However, BTS members and radio have always been a touchy subject. BTS's music has been banned many times by radio due to the sensitive nature of the songs. BTS's older music talked about mental health and things like that, and then when BTS did American radio and stuff, it was clear that they were being mistreated. Radio would simply just not play the songs, and a lot of it was due to Korean propaganda. The government regulation did not want foreign songs on the radio, as supposedly probably the Korean regime. And also America is very sensitive to Asian culture with the whole COVID situation. However, when V was on the radio, some older Radio American tweets started to resurface. A station tweeted a little while ago a tweet where they were talking about checking into BTS's hotel so they can smell V's pillow. Now this is an obvious joke, and there are jokes like this that are often made in pop fan culture, so it's seen as very normal in America. Of course, the fandom did not take this lightly and screamed sexual harassment. They were also angry over the fact that the station was supposed to be talking about how much they loved V, but has allegedly never played V on the radio. I have never listened to this station just because I don't listen to radio, so I can't confirm that. However, it wouldn't be surprising if they didn't, given the whole propaganda thing. Of course, a lot of that has shifted and radio has started to play BTS now. But people were concerned if this radio host guest star gig was going to be using V in a similar way, sexually harass him or do anything that radio seems to do often to BTS, and was concerned if these creepy comments or possible Sasaeng moments that would make V uncomfortable would lead to V needing to leave the station quickly. But that was not the case. NBC treated BTS with so much respect and V seemed to really enjoy the time there. But what do you think? Will he post his left butt cheek tattoo? Do you think V is over the dating rumors? And do you think V should not do the radio stuff given the previous treatment of several different stations and should leave right away? Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks, just a lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.